Hi, good morning, and welcome all of you to the Monte Cagle Show. Well, I'm Monte Cagle, and I'm an African American from South Carolina. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a musician, performer, I've done a missionary, I'm a pastor, teacher, author, composer, and world traveler and linguist. So I just wanted to talk to you this morning. It's been a little while since I made a little video, and I really have to tell you this story. And you know what? I hope you guys pass this video around to all your friends and loved ones or family, and anyone who might have interreactions, a lot of things with other races, or have problems with racism and bigotry, and things to that matter. But anyway, I want to tell you this story. This actually happened. Now, I've been traveling in Europe, between Europe and the States for many, many years, and I'm presently in Europe. And I was in Germany the other day. And what I do is, I've performed with my family for many, many years around the world. And we've lived in almost every culture, and live with every race you could possibly imagine on the planet. So, but this took the cake. The other day, I was in Germany, and on Saturdays, a lot of times I like to go out, and like I said, I'm a pastor and I'm a teacher, so I like to go out on Saturdays and give out tracts and talk to people and delve into people's lives and answer some of their questions about life and about God, And so anyway, I got off the train, this town, very nice sized town in Germany, and I was walking to the center of town. Now, most of the time, the train stations are right in the center of the towns, and they have these, what you call pedestrian zones, where there's no cars. It's just full of people walking and shopping. It's like an outside mall. There's a lot of cities like that. So anyway, we're leaving the train station. I'm walking to town with my wife and daughter, and what happened was my wife and daughter said, "Look, we're going to go pick up something to eat a little later on, and you just go ahead into town." And so anyway, I'm walking to town. Boop, boop, boop. So I just stumbled upon this beggar in the street. He was actually German. There's a lot of people from everywhere in the world nowadays in Germany begging and we would call it panhandling, right? So I saw the guy, and I was like walking by, and he looked pretty tough, and he needed help. So I stopped, and I reached my pocket to give him a coin or two. So just as I was about to bend down and give him the coin, he puts his hand over his collecting cup, and he said, "No, I don't take money from black people." In German. No, he says in German, right? So I was like, "What did you say?" Now, about the same time, there was a French couple behind us, right? And they saw the guy put his hand over the cup. They stopped, and they started looking at me and the guy talking to the guy in German. So he just put his hand over his cup and goes, "No," like that. And I was like, I thought I'd seen everything possible as far as racism and bigotry or, hatred for different races, right? So the guy goes, "No, I don't take money from black people," in German. So I said, oh, okay. It's your thing. If you don't want it, great. I was thinking, you look like you need it, brother. But anyway, I just said, okay. And I just started walking down the street. And so the couple was right behind me. Now, they stopped and said, sir. Now, it just so happens these people were from France. So the lady, she tries to speak to me in German. I said, wait a minute, do you speak French? And she said, yes, I speak French. I said, okay. So I started speaking to her in French. And she said, well, I was kind of looking at you guys talking. And the wife said, and she said, it sounds like he didn't want to accept the money from you. And I said, I explained to her in French, and I said, she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that." And I said, "Yes, I said, this just blew my mind today." And I said, in a way, I'm kind of excited because I just finished writing this book called Racism and the Cure. And she was like, "Oh, really?" And then she said, "Yes, I work with other people too." And she said I was very shocked at what I thought I heard him say, because she didn't speak German that well. But anyway, so I'm speaking to her, I'm telling her in French. I say, "La la la la," that. And I was telling her, "Look, it's just the way it is." And she said, "Well, you've lived in Europe." I told them, what I do. I travel, I sing, I teach, and a lot of things like that. I've lived around about 45 countries in the world over the last 50 years, and I just finished writing this book on racism. And she was like, "Wow," and she said, well, since you've been in Europe a lot, I've traveled extensively in Europe. I've traveled quite a lot of countries in Europe. And she said, "Well, what European country do you find is the most racist? And who are the most racist people?" And I looked at her, I said, "Listen, lady," in French. She's real sweet, really nice French couple. I said, "Look, I've traveled around the world, and to be honest, we're all racist." She went, it kind of blew her mind. I said, "Look, we all have race. We all are we are bigots and racists to varying degrees, and and I lived around the world, and I said, look, I've seen African people be just as racist to other African people. I've seen Americans be racist to Americans. I've seen Europeans be racist to Europeans. I've seen Germans just as racist. Racism is rampant and bigotry everywhere in the whole planet." And she was like, "Wow." So we talked a little longer and blah, blah, blah. We exchanged our contact information. And she said, "I'd really like to stay in touch with you." And I told her, "Look, get my book, because it will really help you to understand, why we're like that, and also how we can possibly solve the problem." I told her, "Look, we will never be able to solve racism worldwide, because it's just an innate problem of the heart of man in general." And so, it was quite interesting to talk to her. So that just blew my mind. He's a bum. He's a German bum on the street asking for money, and he refused to accept money from me, being a black man. So I was like blown away. And so sure enough, I go to town. I said, "I just got to tell my wife this when I saw her." So later on, they came on into town, and I started talking to her. She said, "Oh yeah, I saw the same guy, and he refused to take money from me too, but he asked, 'Look, where are you? But you look different. Where are you from?' to my wife." She's like, and as if she has to beg him to give him money. And she said, "Well, I'm from the Caribbean." And anyway, he said, "Oh, well, I don't know that." But anyway, he took the money from her. But because my wife's kind of, you don't know what she is. She's really mixed up. But anyway, the funny thing was, it was just, I've never seen anything so ridiculous, And so, anyway, that's what I wanted to say. In Europe, I'm just constantly telling the same story over and over again. Why America's messed up with racism, and why it's so much bigotry and hatred, and why why is there such a war going on there. So I do that quite a lot, and so that was one of the reasons I wrote that book. And to be honest, I think you should get my book if you don't really understand it, because I've lived it. I've lived with these people. I've lived with Asian people. I've lived with over prolonged periods of time, and watched how they, what they go through and what they experience. I've lived with, okay, I'm African American, black people. That's why I grew up, and I lived in white people. Countries were predominantly white countries, and throughout Europe and South America, and some places it's just like, it's just a terrible problem worldwide. Now, the next thing that happened, okay, now this is something that really broke my heart. I almost cried, really. I was in Switzerland last weekend, and sure enough, I was out singing and talking to people, giving out tracts, and anyway, this lady, I was singing, this lady stood there for like, a lot of times I'll just go somewhere and sing, right? She stood there for like half an hour with her little baby. She was like in her 60s or so. A white chick, white girl, white lady. And she just stood there, and afterwards she came in, she said, "Oh, it's so nice, I love the music, blah, blah, blah." And then we started talking, and then later on I found out that she married a black guy, right? And then at the end of the conversation, she almost was like crying. She said, "I had a marriage was really tough." And she said, "I really caught hell, you know?" And I said, "Look, I understand, you know." And she was like almost in tears, you know? And I was like, well, it's back to the same issue. This racism it's horrible. It's not good for anybody. It's not good if you're black. It's not good if you're white. It's not good if you're Asian. It's not good anywhere. It's horrible. So anyway, I told her about my book, and she's going to pick up a copy. And like I say, a lot of the things I talk about in the book can really bring relief, if nothing else, but just plain, simple relief, because we have so many taboos of society that if you happen to be interracially married, interracial couple, or if you're a white person and you like black people, if you're a black person, you like white people, or if you're Asian and you like whoever, whatever, you go through all that. You go through all these social regulations and laws and restrictions and thoughts that are totally ridiculous. And okay, I was thinking the other day, okay, if you're an evolutionist, great, you know, it's like that's going to be your thing, because it's the struggle of the survival of the fittest, you know, the one group's going to win over the other group, and this group is better than this group because we've evolved to a higher understanding, and our bodies are becoming better and all this kind of garbage. But if you are more or less, if you're inclined to believe in the spirit realm, or you're kind of a spiritual person, I mean, what the heck would it matter what your flesh color is, or what, you know, or how you grew up? It really doesn't matter. So it's really boulder dash, the whole thing, all of this racial mess. But the reason why I wrote the book is not to solve the racial problem, because I can't solve it. Nobody can solve it. But because I do believe in God, I believe only God himself can solve that problem. But I wanted to encourage you all to get my book, and I believe that many of you will have, for once, like, peace in your mind and heart about racial issues, that you can actually live in peace with your partner, whatever color he or she is, and you can just live, enjoy your life, because that's why we're here. This is what I believe. We're here to enjoy life and to experience things and learn things that I believe this life will continue forever in some fashion, shape, or form. And I'll get into that in some other videos. But I want to encourage you. I am so pissed with all this racial boulder dash and BS. Just live your life. I tell all these people, a lot of couples come up to me and talk to me who are same couple or same race, mixed races and stuff. And I talk extensively about in these matters to a lot of different kind of people. And everybody's really walking around on this condemnation or oppression, that they should feel oppressed because they like some white girl or some black guy, you know what I mean? Or some Asian person likes a black person, or Asian person likes white. You know, it's so stupid. And these are all artificial laws and restrictions that have been put on us as a people. And I believe that we have the freedom to love and be with whoever we want to, that we're not just, you're a traitor, you married the black guy. You're a traitor, you married this white guy, you know, if you're black or something like that, you know. It's just stupid. It's just really stupid. Because I believe that every person has a right to live according to what they want. You know what I mean? And I believe like I said, I'm a Christian. I believe in God, you know, and I believe that even as Christians, we still reflect the same evolutionist, atheistic ideals that are totally boulder dash, okay? So I would suggest you throw it off and forget about it Enjoy your mate. Enjoy your family. I mean, this poor lady, she was almost, she is, she's a grandmother now, and she has a. You can see the babies, kind of mixed from her children, and she's like, I could just see those years of carrying around that oppression, and of because she wanted to marry this black guy. I mean, or I've seen it other way around. White women want to wear black guys like to marry a white chick. I mean, what the heck? Who cares? It's the person that you love. It's the person that you love. It's the person that you want to be with. You don't have to please your race because you like someone of a different race. So what? Who cares? And also, look. I don't want to talk too much on this, but look, booty. Let's use the word booty, just in case your kids get this. It's your right to enjoy the booty that you like. Black booty, white booty, Asian booty. It's your choice. Look, okay, I just want to share this. I've had all. Black, Asian, Chinese, Indian, every kind of booty you can think of, okay? And black booty and everything. And it's just like, I am so thankful that God loved us enough to give us sex. I'm sorry, sex does not come from the devil. And I'll say the word sex, sex, sex. And it's great and it's wonderful. It's a creation of G-O-D, God. And he wants us to enjoy each other. I mean, two consenting adults who love each other, what difference does it make? You know what I mean? So that's a little tip today that I wanted to bring out. So love who you want to love. It's in the Bible. You know, it's like God made them male and female, and he said, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. You know, so like I said, I'm not an atheist, and I do believe in God, and I believe that God created booty. He created us, and just like, you know, I was thinking it the other day, okay, when you go to the toilet, is it a brown? I think in every race, which I've seen, it's like, it's all the same color. It's brown. You eat regularly, it's brown. It doesn't come out white. It doesn't come out red. It doesn't come out black. It comes out brown. It's the same in every color, right? So we're all the same. We're all the same. We're God's creation. He loves us. He's giving us variety. Wouldn't it all be such a monotonic like existence if we all were the same race? Look, you can read it in the scriptures. I'd have to talk to you later on about that in another video. But listen, you have every right under God to love who you want to love and be with who you want to be with. It is a God-given privilege and honor, and he loves us, and he wants us to love each other and enjoy each other. I'm telling you, read my book, buy my book, be liberated today. Throw off this stupid bondage and ideals of these societies on this planet, and be free and be the person that you want to be, and love who you want to love, regardless of their ethnicity. Okay? Ethnicity. You understand that? I'm telling you, believe me, it's your right to do that. And with that, I just want to say thanks for listening, and please make this video go viral. Share it with your friends. And I think if you get my book, it will help you, it will liberate you, it will give you peace of mind and heart. And you can have peace and enjoy your mate for once in your life. Forget it. I had to do it. I did it like years ago because like, oh God, when I went to South Carolina with my wife, it was weird, okay? But check out my site, montecagle.com, and check out my YouTube channel, Monte Cagle, and subscribe to my channel. And I hope that I can answer some of your questions and give you a little experience. Look, I'm over 60. I'm headed towards 70. I have had a beautiful life. I've lived everywhere, and I've lived with all kind of people, and I have a general understanding of life with different ethnic groups from around the world. And I tell you, the things in that book will help you, and it will encourage you and give you a reason to enjoy whoever you're with. Okay? Thanks for listening, and see you soon. Bye.